Would you consider yourself to be an addict?
Jennasis Savage, age 63.
My name is Savage. I'm 46 years old.
My name is Jennasis Savage, and I'm 21.
What were you like as a child? Do you remember?
I was very hyper and 100% extrovert. I made friends wherever I went. I could make conversation with anyone. I could talk to anyone that I was next to.
I was spoiled. So anything I wanted, I got it. I was outspoken, outgoing. I got along with others well. I'm always a center of attraction.
I would imagine I probably came off relatively assertive and probably, rambunctious to a degree. But to be honest, I think internally it was one thing, but I think externally it was quite another. Your home could change, anything could change underneath you. As much as it was the same in many respects, and you could become used to certain things, it was still very, like I said, very transient. Extremely transient. On one hand, I wanted to say it was dark, right? But then at the same time, I have positive memories in there.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any kind of mental disorder?
I'm bipolar, magnetic, depressive.
The depression is there, the anxiety is there. Depending on who you ask, they might throw schizophrenia in there. I still like to believe I'm a pretty grounded guy.
So I was diagnosed officially with depression when I was 15, anxiety when I was 16, OCD and ADHD when I was 19. Would you consider yourself to be an addict?
Yeah, I tried some things. The first time, it was powder. It was powder. You snorted it. I didn't like it though. Well, I was living with some people, and they was doing it. So I guess I got tired of looking at them doing it. I said, I'm gonna try it too. I didn't stop using. Until 1990, I stopped using drugs. And I was clean 15 years after that, and then I got started back on them again. But I'm tired now. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of being tired.
I don't know, more or less it's about a lot of the abuse that she went through in certain ways. She eventually had gotten married and things like that. He was a big contributor though to some of that abuse. And unfortunately I was witness to a lot of that. So when you're that age and those type of things are happening around you, it's a very scary thing. And so that certainly does something to you. But at the same time, I can always think about feeling powerless about her stuff and then watching her go through this stuff. So that's not an ideal childhood.
You feel that mental state or all those experiences that you had affected your ability to parent?
No. Not the ability to parent. No.
My dad and I have a very complicated relationship. In retrospect, I do feel that whatever he was fighting on a mental level affected how he was towards me as a parent. And I do feel that whatever he dealt with from my grandma as his mother affected him as a parent.
And I also still assume responsibility for allowing anything to prevent me from being able to parent, though. Matter of fact, I would say that contributed to my desire to be the best parent I could be. That's what I would say.
He felt extremely unapproachable to me. Like, he was my dad, but he was like this guy that I couldn't really talk to. I think that it's a burden to want to be close with someone and you're the only one not allowing yourself to be close to that person. That was a huge burden for me because for the longest time I really, really wanted a relationship with my dad. Like, I craved it so much. Like, I just wanted to be able to call my dad and ask him how he was or tell him I miss him. And for a very long time I couldn't do that. And that bothered me, and I can do that now. And that has put me in a much better state mentally than I was a couple years ago.
I did not understand my grandmother's situation and her demons that she was dealing with until, I don't even know, I was probably like 15 or 16. My grandma and I were extremely close when I was a kid. And when I was younger, I just thought that she was like a fun, energetic grandma. I was like, I have the coolest grandma. Because she had the energy to do things with me and take me places, and I would sleep over her house. And I didn't realize until I was older that not only drugs but mental illness played a role in that energy for her. I think now that I'm older, I can understand and I can empathize with everything that she went through and still continuously goes through. But when I was a teenager and when I was younger and when I invited her to my high school graduation and she didn't show up, I was just angry with her and I didn't care what she was going through. I was just pissed off.
There is still a part of me that feels like I do know her very well, but I just can't access that part right now. There's two people that I know have overcome a lot in their life due to what they deal with on a mental level that I can go to and ask them, like, I mean, what do you think about this? Or how should I go about dealing with this? What did you do when you were in your 20s? What should I not do that you did? How would you describe your mental health now?
My mental state is okay. So I just want to be the grandma I'm supposed to be.
I would say I'm still starving for a lot of resolutions that I just haven't been afforded for whatever reason. And the level at which I am affected by those experiences has lessened. But my thing is, like, why did that happen? And why did that have to happen? And what was supposed to happen from that? Sometimes I know the answer, a lot of times I still don't.
My mental health is a lot better now than it was throughout most of my life because of work that I have done on myself, I have been able to accept my own trauma and accept my dad and my grandma's trauma and try to move past that. I feel that all three of us, my grandma, my dad, and myself, we are all connected in this odd way. And I feel like in a lot of ways, all three of us have let our mental health and our own attitudes and our own decisions stand in the way of us being there for each other for those exact reasons. I think the best thing that a parent can do for their child is to break the curse of previous generations. I don't want it to take until I'm in my 40s to understand who I want to be.